Welcome to Amplify Digest. I'm your host, Lars Schmidt, and I'll be breaking down some of the top news and trends and all things people in 5 minutes or less. So I want to open up with a huge thank you to all of you. Last week, I launched the Amplify Academy. It's the evolution of the Amplify Accelerator and the cohorts and the community and really everything that I've been building for probably close to 10 years now between HR open source and other platforms. And I'm really excited about this platform that is being built from the ground up to support the next generation of modern and progressive people operators and leaders. There's a community, the cohorts will continue to exist, and there's an all new AI-powered Amplify Learning Lab that has a range of courses, templates, videos, all different kinds of content aimed at supporting the architects of the new world of work, the people that are kind of building HR teams and functions in today's world. So it's built from the ground up for modern HR today and tomorrow. And I'm really excited with all the initial feedback from those of you that have created accounts and logged in. And what's going to be really cool about this is going to be a platform that I build with you, the community. So you will have a direct influence on the content roadmap for future courses and more, including the first course that you will see in there, which is a guide for first-time heads of people, which is a really robust guide that covers a lot of the areas from executive onboarding to building executive relationships and influence, building business acumen, and so many other things that were just not often part of our HR curriculum as we're brought up. So I'm really excited for you to see all of that. Let's get into the news this week. I want to start with this piece by The Atlantic. And, even though I certainly don't agree with the title, it is an interesting piece just talking about the history of offices and the natural inertia that office work has, even for tech companies. So I definitely recommend you give this a read. As we're all many of us are in these new kind of hybrid constructs, this is going to evolve over the coming quarters and years. And some companies will optimize and get it right. Some companies will abandon it. Some companies will make a deeper push to get people back into an office. So this will be fluid. This has been fluid. Will continue to be fluid. And the great thing is lots of people are sharing their experiences and practices. So at least you have the opportunity to learn from your peers. Mackenzies has some great content and reports out lately, including this one about the future workplace. So no surprise, flexibility rates very high. And also gets into the role of the workplace itself. As we're bringing people back into an office, many times we have to give them, more of a reason to come and be really clear about what we do in offices versus what we do when we're working offsite. So this piece gets into all of that and more. I also want to flag this podcast with Adam Grant and Satya Nadella at Microsoft, two leading thinkers in the new world of work, in my view. Satya has really been upfront and out front, as well as Kathleen Hogan, his chief people officer, about the role of the workplace and companies in this new world of work. And so, again, anything Adam Grant creates, I would recommend you check out, but this one is no exception. Here's another HBO article as well I want to flag around the C-suite skills that matter most. And you might not be surprised that they're focused on people and the nature of shifting from kind of operational excellence to a combination of that, but also people and empathy and EQ and just some of those skills that are so important for leadership, but especially in the times that we're in now. So another article that's worth your time. And I want to give a shout out to Pin. Pin has been huge champions of open source from the jump, and they've really been hitting it out of the park with some of their open source resources and guides around communications, especially, crisis communications and some of the many things that we've been through over the last 2+ years. So this is definitely another one that's worth your time. And lastly, I'm excited to bring back the Redefining HR podcast. So we take a hiatus between seasons. We're back for season 8. And it was such a great episode to kick off season 8 with. Liz Fosline is the head of communications and comms at Humu. She's also an author and one half of Liz and Molly, which if you're watching this, I'm assuming you've seen some of their illustrations. They tend to all go viral on social media. But it was fascinating to sit down with Liz and talk about her journey to writing and to Humu, and then more specifically getting into the writing and illustration and creative process behind her work in her books and illustrations under Liz and Molly, the brand. So definitely check that out. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you next week.